Hello, Jags. Welcome back to another episode of SD60. Here today with us, we have Alacia Brew, the 89th Miss Southern. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Whitney?
I'm great. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Alacia Brew. I'm currently a senior, majoring in speech language pathology here at Southern University. I'm a native of Farmerville, Louisiana, and I currently serve as the 89th Miss Southern University for the 2019-2020 school year.
Okay, great. So, what was your inspiration behind running for Miss Southern?
I mean, ultimately, I'm a fourth generation Jaguar,
Right.
so all of my family has attended Southern, from uncles, aunts, grandparents, parents, brothers.
This is tradition.
It's tradition, and with the rich legacy that Southern holds in my family, I remember having a conversation with my dad.
Yeah.
Which initially, when I first got to Southern, my goal wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be Miss Southern one day. It was always just, I'm gonna go to Southern,
Right.
and I'm gonna have this HBCU experience that everybody talks about. I couldn't dance, so I could be a dancing doll. Possibly, just the full HBCU experience that you expect. And along the road, I got that HBCU experience. You can't explain it, you have to live it. We tell people that all the time.
Right.
So just being amongst family, being amongst friends, people that I can now call my brothers and sisters, not just classmates. It really encouraged me to go forth and run for Miss Southern from the different organizations I was a part of. I was a part of Go Team. I was a part of Collegiate 100. I was
involved.
Initiate of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So it was just a ton of things that one thing after another that it was just like, okay, this is God ordering my steps to run for the position. So when I talked to my dad about it, as I mentioned earlier, I was like, hey, how do you I think I want to run for Miss Southern. And he was like, to say that we've had so many people in our family attend Southern, we haven't had one Miss Southern. So that was just another the icing on the cake. So it's like, okay, he said that, so now I really have to do it.
Right.
Really, ultimately, like I said, my involvement in school, making sure that my grades were a priority, because again, I ended the first 2 years at Southern, I had a 4.0. I now have over a 3.5 still. And I just feel like being that model student, it's not just about the looks, it's not just about the glitz and the glamour. Miss Southern embodies school spirit, academics, a well-rounded student, someone you can look at and be like, not I want to be her, but I want to be like her.
Right.
And I feel like, that's what inspired me, because I want to inspire others.
Right. That's perfect. Very well-rounded. So what exactly are the duties of Miss Southern?
In black and white, Miss Southern's duties essentially are to be a community service agent in the Baton Rouge community. And that was one thing that I wanted to make sure that I did. So with Miss Southern mainly being a community service position, throughout the legacy of Miss Southern, usually Miss Southern picks a nonprofit every year to raise funds for, and usually that nonprofit is St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So I wanted to continue that legacy, of course, with the Little Miss Southern pageant that I hosted back in September. The contestants were able to sell ads for an ad booklet that we created at the pageant, and the proceeds for the ads all went to St. Jude's. So the girls, there's approximately 13 girls, and they raised over $16,000 for St. Jude's. And that was a big accolade, because I know one of the most recent Miss Southerns that I spoke with, she was like, the most I raised was maybe 10,000. Or so to say that we exceeded a goal of 16,000 was really great. Not only that, it was an opportunity for young girls in the community to come and get the Southern experience and kind of get to be Little Miss Southern. And on top of that, also servicing the Baton Rouge community. Over the summer, I had the opportunity to, along with community leaders, to donate to. Actually, we donated school supplies, but we raised funds to get the school supplies. And about I would say the month of July, we were raising funds and going and getting backpacks and stuffing backpacks, because we wanted to make sure that the children in the Baton Rouge community had the tools that they needed necessary for the 2019-2020 school year. So I believe that here at Southern, we raised over $3,000 in a collective of over $10,000. We also gave away a scholarship to a student who graduated from a Baton Rouge high school, and she will actually be attending Prairie View.
Wow.
Coming up this next year. So it was just really fulfilling just to know that, one, we could serve the community, and then it was also, I felt like it was another good aspect to say, okay, Southern, again, is out doing something positive in the community.
Right.
Just making sure that Southern is represented in the best light possible.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, and with that being said, it seems like you're very into the community. And is there anything, like, when you first became Miss Southern, was there at any moment a point to where you felt like you didn't know that what you signed up for, or was it more than what you thought it would be?
I think, honestly, I think you're never really prepared for something until you, like, get into it, because things happen. There are incidents that happen on campus, like tragedies, things that you're like, okay, it's going to be a perfect year, and then something comes up, like, you know, but you always have to remain positive. I think that's been not the hardest thing for me, but it has been a challenge, because whether it's something in my personal life or it's something going on in school, something with the university, I always have to make sure that no matter what, I am smiling, I'm happy, I am a reflection of what I want the students to be. So if I want the students to always be happy, always have school spirit, always rep the blue and gold, I have to do that as well. And it can be hard, you know, being that we're human, and it's like, you know, sometimes do you have times to really display your emotions? Yes, you do, but at the same time, and then that's another thing, I wanted to make sure that students know it's okay to have your moments. One thing that I can say that helped me this year is that I did, a shameless plug, I actually started utilizing the counseling center.
Okay.
So throughout my 4 years, I was like, oh, the counseling center is there. You know, I don't really have time to go, but really taking out time to have those mental health breaks. And doing self-care mentally, not just physically. Like, we could do self-care, get pampered and things like that, but if we're not taking care of our core, you know, what are we really doing? So there, yes, has been times where I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm signing up for. But being that we are at Southern, there's always resources to help me. Whether that's the counseling center, whether that's a brother or sister that I can just go talk to, a professor that I can confide in. It's always somebody at Southern. So even if I am going through a hardship, Southern has always, like, got me through
the backbone for it. That's perfect. Okay. And with that being said, how do you plan on impacting Southern University? I know graduation is right there, so what do you think you could do possibly as Miss Southern to impact the university as a whole?
Hopefully, Whitney, I've already made my impact. Throughout my 4 years, I hope that, you know, I've helped at least one person, whether that was academically, financially, if I could do that. Whether it was a ride to the store, a ride to class, help me out of the rain, help me with this hardship. My parents are, you know, going through, whatever the case may be. I feel like if I haven't made an impact now, I probably won't make an impact. With the service projects that I've done, I want to continue doing service initiatives, just continuing to leave my mark. But I want to say that hopefully I've already made that impact. Since the fall of 2016, when I actually set foot on the yard, I feel like I've been making my impact. Always being nice to people, trying to put my best foot forward academically, trying to put my best foot forward with my friends, and just really embodying a Jaguar. I really hope that I've already done that. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope the students can attest to that. But to answer your question, I really hope that I've already made that impact well before I was even elected.
Okay, perfect. And thank you so much for your time, and thank you for that transparency.
Thank you so much, Whitney. It's always a pleasure.
And there you have it. You've heard from the 89th Miss Southern, the ins and out, and her impacts on becoming Miss Southern University. Be sure to like, subscribe, and watch our videos on YouTube.